Michael Bisping and Paul Felder just slammed Ilia Topuria for his latest comments, where he went straight at Team Khabib and Islam Makhachev, claiming he would submit Islam and throwing shots at the entire camp. The criticism wasn't even about the matchup itself, it was about the timing and the contradiction behind it. Bisping and Felder both pointed out that Topuria has repeatedly mentioned dealing with serious family issues and needing space to focus on that, yet at the same time, he is publicly provoking fighters and teams that are guaranteed to respond. Felder called Ilia's actions on quote a shit move, saying, "You cannot ask for understanding and quiet while simultaneously starting beef, because once you open that door, people are going to fire back regardless of what you are going through personally." Felder also aligned with Team Khabib's stance on the situation, explaining that when a fighter brings family matters into the conversation, it changes the rules. If someone says they need peace, others are put in an awkward position where responding makes them look like the bad guy, even if they were attacked first. Let's dive into what Felder and Bisping had to say.
Now, I will say there is a response on the Middle Easy article that I'm looking at here. This is from Ali Abdelaziz. He says, "I'm a little bit confused. Everyone is giving this guy space and respect to resolve his family problems. But when he comes out talking about Khabib, Islam, Arman for no reason, and he's not even fighting, I'm not sure if people should give him a pass anymore." And that's kind of a fair comment. You know, yeah. He is talking about Arman, he is talking about Islam, he is talking about Khabib, and right now, you know, they're doing an interim title fight. So he's keeping himself relevant, keeping himself in the news, you know.
Yeah, it's clearly just to, like you said, stay relevant, stay up to date, be on podcasts, people are talking about you. But yeah, it's kind of a shit move when you're not even stepping in there. And we don't know when you're going to be stepping in there. You could be setting up all the fights in the world.
Josh Thomson just broke down a high-stakes middleweight matchup as Reinier and Caio Borralho are set to collide at UFC 326 in Las Vegas on March 7th. This is a massive fight for the division, especially with the title picture starting to take shape. Khamzat Chimaev is gearing up for a spring title defense against Nasruddin Imavov, and with that looming, the next wave of contenders is already lining up. Sean Strickland and Fluffy Hernandez are both right there, and it is very likely the winner of that matchup ends up fighting for the belt next. The bigger question is whether Khamzat is even still champion by then. Just weeks ago, he said he wants to move divisions after one title defense and chase champ status. He has floated both light heavyweight and a return to welterweight, claiming he can still make 170. This also depends if Kamaru Usman is able to capture the welterweight belt in 2026, because that would also potentially set up a champ versus champ rematch between Khamzat and Kamaru. Their first fight was a 3-round banger, which left fans wishing for a 5-round rematch. Regardless, a Chimaev double champ opportunity would be massive for the UFC, especially while heading into this new Paramount TV deal. Let's dive into what Josh Thomson had to say about RDR taking on Caio.
To me, that's a great fight. Both guys coming off of a loss. Both guys were like very highly touted. They were talking about just chipping into that top 3, top 4, ranking system. I think RDR was ranked number 4, whatever, when he lost just recently to Brendan Allen. This to me is a great fight. I think Caio Borralho he's good on the feet. He's not so bad on the ground. He doesn't have to worry about, I think, the overwhelming wrestling ability of RDR, because we saw that RDR's wrestling is not fantastic, but his clinch work is definitely something to deal with. And it's in March. Both guys have enough time to take off. Both guys have enough time to prepare, get ready for their weight cuts. Both guys seem to be very big for the weight. And so I look at RDR and I think to myself, when I look back at his record, I actually looked at his record this morning, and I realized that he was fighting 4 times in just that 1 year. That's impressive for someone who has to cut weight that much. But there's no better way to perform, basically, and consistently get better unless you're inside that cage.
New footage just surfaced online showing Justin Gaethje grappling with teammates, specifically drilling arm triangle defense. Kamaru Usman was right there watching the session, then decided to step in and challenge Justin himself. What followed raised a lot of eyebrows. Usman effortlessly locked up a choke and forced Justin to tap. Not exactly a great look for someone who is just weeks away from a title fight against a dangerous grappler like Paddy Pimblett. The clip immediately sparked debate, with fans questioning how Gaethje plans to deal with elite grappling pressure if he is getting shut down that cleanly in the gym. Paddy Pimblett couldn't resist reacting after the clip started circulating. In a now-deleted tweet, he mocked the situation, writing, "That's your guy." We also need to point out that Justin has spent months insisting his grappling has leveled up and that fans would be shocked by how much his overall game has improved. With a title fight looming against a strong grappler, this footage did the opposite of reassuring people and instead poured fuel on the doubts about whether Justin's wrestling and submission defense are really where he claims they are.
I would 100% finish you then. 100%.
He got that bicep. Nice and flat. He got that bicep.
That was my bad side too.
What's up with this hand? That's why I'm just for defense.
Oh, he's going to sleep.
You got him?
Yep.
Yeah, the knee on the head. That's what it is. The knee on the head.
Just weeks after UFC Qatar, Paddy Pimblett opened up about a run-in with Arman Tsarukyan and shared his thoughts on Ilia Topuria and the Gaethje fight in an interview with Papa Legaspi. Paddy explained that Ilia's return is likely in late spring or summer, with personal matters taking priority, and he wished him well, but made it clear all he cares about is eventually fighting El Matador in the octagon. That's the fight he wants most. He also mentioned the scenario where if Ilia isn't back by June or July, he might have to vacate the belt, which could shake up the division even more. Paddy is very confident leading up to his fight with Justin at UFC 324. He's preparing a perfect game plan for Gaethje, confident he can control the fight, and doesn't see it going past the third round. On the rivalry front, Paddy admitted he now has more respect for Ilia as a fighter. Back when it started, he didn't even know him and thought he was just chasing clout. But over time, it's clear Ilia is a legit threat in the cage. January's fight is the next step, and the lightweight division is about to get even more interesting. Paddy showed respect for the Georgian champ, but when it came to Arman, he went all out. Let's dive in.
Obviously, I bumped into Ilia at one point. I don't even think it was him what said anything. I think it was one of his entourage. And then I don't think I bumped into Arman, but I seen him at one point getting a group picture, so I went like that behind it. But Arman's a tit, you know what I mean? Arman's an absolute idiot. Ilia's the man, so Ilia's who I'm going to fight. Arman just talks a big game and he's shit.
You're used to a lot of to face the criticism of the people on social media and everything. But what do you think about Arman's position right now? Like what all the stuff he's saying? Like he defeated Dan Hooker, but obviously the plan was you against Ilia at some point. Because it was pretty clear that that was what the UFC wanted.
Arman's made his own bed, lad. He can lie in it. He dug his own grave. Pulled out of a title fight the night before. Punched the fan on his walkout. Headbutted someone at the fucking at a weigh-in, and he's beat Dan Hooker, who I like Dan Hooker, but he can't grapple to save his life.
That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.